Hey everybody, welcome back to Crafting in the Hollow. I'm Patricia. Thank you for joining us here. All right, so today we are going to be finishing up on this little guy here. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it ends up turning into this little cute guy, or like this little cute guy. This one I'm going to touch up right now with this one. We're going to add a little black because as it dried, its little pieces start moving around and taking shape of what they like to do. So we're going to touch him up. We're going to set him over here and we're going to paint this guy. All right, so I don't know if you noticed on here I have little pom-poms, but this little guy does not have a pom-pom because I'm going to actually just use a little white pom-pom on him. After he's all done drying, I'm going to put a little pom-pom and see if I like that instead of doing it that way. So we're going to try that. All right, so let me go ahead and if you haven't seen this one, I did make these in another video right before this one. Go and check that video out. I'll try to put the link somewhere on the screen here so you can click it, or it will also be down in the description down below. So if you found us by this video here, you can go check out this video so you can get to where you got your little guy made, and then we're going to go ahead and paint him in this one. All right, so let me go ahead and grab a paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is on him, I told you guys how this one I did the multicolor underwash that has the greens, the blues, the yellows, and gives it a different tone. This one we did the black for the shadows in the crevices. So this one, I think we're going to go ahead, excuse me, and we're going to do gray on the beard. And then what I was thinking is I'm going to do gray on the beard, and then in this little area, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of the oranges and yellows, and we're going to try that just to see how it turns out. Instead of doing like one whole color on all of them, we're going to try to do a little bit of different colors. So I'm going to pick up little yellow, and I'm just going to go up under here and I'm going to dot some yellow tones. And don't worry if you get it on the white and stuff like that, because you're going to be painting all that, okay? Don't forget to get his nose and his cheeks, okay? Make sure you get all the area that's going to be his face, so his cheeks and his nose. And then we're going to take and get a paper towel here so I can rinse my brush. I got water over here for rinsing my brush. So you can just put out whatever paints you want. If you look at my palette here, I got some black, white, yellow, orange, gold, like metallic. I'm going to darken this blue up a little bit because I want to do his hat blue on this one. And then I got gray, white, and I got tan for his face. So after we're done with this and it's dry, we're going to paint his face. I got some red. So I just got a little bit of different colors for my palette that I wanted. And then I just got some water. Oh, got things sliding over here. All right, well, that's not wanting to, hold on, excuse my arm for a minute. All right, move that back. All right. I got my little puppy over here sitting next to me. He loves to join me when I'm in the crafting hollow here, and he sits next to me and usually sleeps. That's our little bear. He's just turned a year old not that long ago, so he is a little guy, but he's a sweetie, that's for sure. If you have any animals, put down below what kind of animals you have. We are animal lovers in this house, so we always love to hear about others' fur kids. Okay, so that's the orange. Now I'm going to take and plug in my blow dryer here, because we don't want these colors to get mudded up. We just want them to be able to be underneath our tan for a little bit of undertones. Let's see. I just got to plug this in right over here. Let me unplug this one here. Plug this one in. All right, why is this not wanting to go in there? There we go. Okay. Now let's go ahead and hit that real quick with the blow dry. Okay. All right, so I think that's as much undertones I want to do on its face. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the rest of this here. I'm going to put gray on all of his beard. That's what I want for his beard. So he's going to be kind of like a salt and pepper Santa Claus. That's the fun of it, is you can just do whatever your heart desires when you're doing your own art. It doesn't have to be the old traditional Santa Claus. You can give him a blue hat, you can give him green, you can take and paint him with a salt and pepper beard. You can do whatever you want, and that's what I love about art. Is it's all about whatever is in your imagination and what you can come up with, and I love that. And I love how everybody's pieces are never the same. And if you look at these guys, none of them look exactly the same. They all have a different size nose. One's got like a more bulkier, fatter nose. This guy's got a big, like longer nose. This guy's got a little tiny ball nose. So it's super fun just to be creative and come up with your own ideas and see where they turn out. And sometimes when you first start and you're doing your artwork, it's like, oh gosh, this is not looking so hot. But sometimes we have to step back. I'm going to put a little bit up on here, just a little bit, just to have little spots. Okay? So I'm just going to kind of like flick it. Kind of like that. All right. Let me go ahead and get this. And I just had that the other day. Well, it was like about a week or two ago or so. I had that experience happen to me. I had a request for a project, and it was for a little fairy house. And I was making the house. I had the shape and everything, but when I went to go paint it, I just could not. I don't know, like I just wasn't feeling it. And I just didn't feel like the house was coming alive, you know, like it just didn't have a personality to it or anything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. So I had to walk away from it, and I had to come back to it. And I did. I came back to it. And when I came back to it, it all turned out beautiful, and I loved it. It had personality. It had its own little feel, and I was happy with it. So sometimes it's a good learning experience as well when we're doing our crafting, is not all things take shape when we want them to. We have to just like take a step back, take a breather, and come back to it. I'm going to hit this one more time for this bottom row with my blow dry. All right, so that's dry. I'm going to set that there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on that hat. So what I'm going to do for that hat is I'm going to take and mix a little bit of this black, pull out some of this blue, and I want to mix I might have pulled out too much black. I sure did. Let me see if I can lighten that up. I wanted like a particular kind of blue, and that's going to turn it more gray. Okay, I kind of figured that's what was going to happen. All right, so what we're going to do, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because I have another project after this that I'm working on, so I can use that. We're just going to go ahead. I'm going to get my bag that has my paints in it here. I should have just added a tiny drop of the black. All right, so where did that blue go? Oh, here it is. All right, let's grab some of that blue. I'm gonna put it over here. I think I might just add a little bit of the gray so it's not so deep. It should work that way. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush off real quick. All right, let me grab a little bit of that. I'll just take some of that I made over there and I'll bring it over here. There we go. All right, so now it's starting to darken up the way I want it. Let me grab some of that darker from there, put it over in here. Okay, yeah, that's the kind of blue I wanted that had that. Okay, good. All right. I just didn't want it to be that super bright. I kind of wanted it to be like a darker grayish undertone kind of blue. All right, let me move my palette. And then we're gonna go ahead and, you know what? I'm gonna paint that white first. The white on the brim of the hat. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and do the face first. That way we get that area done and then we'll work ourselves out, okay? I do still get kind of nervous when I'm doing videos. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not like a professional at it or anything like that, but I do love sharing and I do love inspiring people. And I just really like doing that. And it's okay if you get it on the gray. I mean, you don't have to be meticulous about it because you're going to be painting all that. So don't worry about getting anything on there. That's why we're going to start with the inside of the face and work ourselves outwards. Because, you know, inside this face here, it's a tighter area, so... But yeah, as I was saying, I still get very, I've always suffered from anxiety all my life. So sometimes getting on doing the videos, if I talk super fast, I'm sorry. My anxiety is like high during those, during those times. You know, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. And I just want to come on here and, you know, build a community and maybe inspire, or if you guys just like seeing the stuff that I make and you just want to join a community and you don't have to make the stuff, that's fine. You know, everybody's welcomed here, but you know, my videos sometimes they're not perfect. And I'm really sorry about that if that's what you are looking for, or, you know, all I can tell you is here it's all about, you know, honesty, and it's all about growing together, creating together, sharing together, and just inspiring. All right, so there's his little face on his thing. Now we're going to get some of the red, and I'm going to add a little bit of the white to it to make like a little pink color for his what's it called, his little cheeks. Okay, so another thing I wanted to try to do on this one was use a little cotton to give him eyebrows. I want to try to do that to see if it all turns out. Now you guys probably won't get to see that here. I'm going to take the end pictures of all of them and I'll be posting them on my Facebook. So if you'd like to follow along on my Facebook, I do put pictures of things that I I work on and I'm going to be making. I'm going to be taking pictures of those and putting them over on Facebook, but they're not going to be made here. So there's going to be a little bit of stuff that's on there that's not here. So if you're about, I got a paintbrush hair in my paint. Where's my napkin at? Oh, there it is. I hate some of my paintbrushes I use for certain things, and they're older ones, you know, and the bristles, they start kind of falling out. But yeah, so I want to invite you guys to come on over there if you would like. We'd love to have you over there. I'm just getting started, so I'm just growing now. So there's not tons over there, but we do have a giveaway going on right now. If you guys would like to enter, you just have to go to the video about the giveaway. You can find it here on YouTube or on our Facebook. And all you have to do is share that video on Facebook and tag us so you get to be entered into the giveaway. It's that simple. And then you just, just a couple things you got to do. It's very, very simple to get entered. And I am giving away the necklace, this one right here, that we made together here on Crafting in the Hollow. This is the one that is going to be given away. There is no fees. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to pay for shipping. I just wanted to invite you guys to go ahead and enter that if you guys would like to. Just make sure that you tag me in the video that you share on Facebook so you get credit. Okay, so now we just gave him a little pink cheeks. I'm going to add a little bit more rosiness to the cheeks though, because I want them to be a little bit redder, like he got little cold cheeks. I want them to be a little redder than the nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix a little bit more red in with the pink that we already had. And then I'm just going to get that red off of there. I don't need that. Don't want that getting on there. All right, so there we go. See how that little bit will make his little cheeks pop like they're cold on a cold day? Look how cute that is. All right, so there's that. And then I just like to take my finger and dab. And sorry, I know I took my nails off because they just were like, I've been wearing, you know, my press-on nails for a little too long. So my nails were feeling just a little too like thin. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the sides of his nose to give his nose a little depth without adding too much of the color to his nose. There we go. All right, so there's his little cheeks, and his nose is like got that pink color to it. So it just makes it stand out a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna paint this white here. All right. Let me go ahead and dry my brush. I'm up making breads already this morning because our one loaf of bread, everybody loves our one loaf of bread, and that is our jalapeno cheddar. Not everybody. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to be like, you know, sounding like that because, you know, not everybody likes that kind of bread, but it's a big, big seller in our stand, and we sold out of those yesterday. First day opened for the week and we sold out of those. So that is a blessing. And I'm so glad that people enjoy that bread too. It's one of our favorites here. Now, my husband, not so much because he doesn't like jalapenos. But like for the kids and I, oh, it is our favorite. And we love to make grilled cheese with that bread. It is simply delicious. But yeah, so, and then we almost sold out of the peach orchard bread too. And that one is a really good bread too. It's peaches and it's got what do you call it? Brown sugar and cinnamon, and it's swirled in the bread. Oh, so good. But yeah, so I'm making breads this morning. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on and get that video so everybody that's making their own snowman, or I want to do snowman next. So I keep saying snowman, or Santa Claus. I want to do these and try to do snowmen. So I'm going to be trying that out. And if it's a decent thing to do and it works out well, I'm going to go ahead and come here and do it. All right. So there is that. I'm going to get this little edge. Now, sometimes with me, the hard thing is when I'm doing my craft is I'm a little bit, I don't want to say OCD about things, but I do get a little like, oh, I'm that type of person when I'm crocheting. If I look at my piece and I see one stitch that's out, I got to rip it all out and start all over. Okay, so there's his little white. Now I'm going to dry that and I'm going to take a little bit of gray and just kind of brush it. Or you know what? No, we're going to leave that. Okay, we're going to leave it like that for right now because I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of coming up with it as we go. Okay, so now I got the blue. Now I didn't do any wash underneath this hat here because I was thinking about using that gold, and that's what I'm thinking about brushing over the rim of the hat and his hat on the top. So but yeah, sometimes I get a little bit meticulous when I'm doing stuff, and I literally can spend hours just nitpicking and going and doing. Are you like that too? If you are, share down below. Or are you more the type that's like, whatever happens, happens, and just go with it and leave it be? I wish I could be like that a little bit more. And with these Santa Clauses, it's kind of how they're supposed to be. They're kind of supposed to have that really rustic, primitive kind of look to them. So you're kind of supposed to just kind of let it be, you know, go with it. And that's, part of the art of it, the craft of it. I love that blue hat, and that blue turned out really nice. I'm glad I darkened it a little bit. All right, so now we're going to give this a little bit of a paint here. But for that one, we're not going to go so heavy with the paint. We're going to kind of just do almost like a dry brush. So you're just going to dry off your brush as good as you can. You're going to pick up some of your paint and then dab it off over in this section here. Okay. And then what you want to do is you just kind of want to put it on, but don't get it down into all the crevices. You want to leave some of that gray beard color sticking out. So you just kind of want to hit it and then just let it go. Okay, let me hit that hat real quick with the blow dryer, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I dried that up a little bit there so I can hold on to the tip of the hat there. I'm going to just pat my brush in that area where I had already patted it off. I'm going to go right into there. And I'm just going to go like this and not go too crazy. Just give it a nice little brushing of the white. Look how it's bringing it to life. It is so awesome, guys. I just think these are just so cute. And as I was blow drying that, you know what I came up with? I was like, these are so cute, but guess what? I don't know if you guys love gnomes, you know? So I'm thinking maybe instead of doing the snowman next, I'm going to do a gnome one and see how it turns out. These with little gnomes would be adorable. So that's what I think I'm going to do, guys. All right, so there's that. So now I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to put a little gold on it, and I'm going to go over the hat and the brim. He's almost done. Now I'm seeing a spot that I'm not liking, so I am going to hit that up real quick. And that is right up under here. And I know the pom-pom might cover that up, but I don't care. It is getting touched up because I cannot leave it. That's one of those, see, that's that thing of, I can't just leave it. I gotta do it. All right, so I'm taking the same brush. It's just like this. It's soft, but it's like that. I don't know what kind of bristles they are. It's just an old brush, but this is one of my favorites for doing like a dry brushing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to pick up some of this gold, and I'm not picking up a lot. I'm just picking it up. You see how much is on there? And then I'm just going to go next door over here and just tap it off. And you just want to have a little bit on your brush. So I'm going to tap it around like that. And then I'm just going to go very lightly, just kind of hit it with the gold. Okay. Okay, I like that because that makes that have that more of that primitive look to it. So I'm really liking that, and it's really faint right here, but it's on there when the light hits it. So when the Christmas lights on the tree are shining, it's gonna reflect off of that metallic paint. So that's gonna be super cute. I'm gonna go right up underneath the rim a little bit. All right. So now we're going to do the eyes. I do the eyes on these things pretty much the same every time. It works well, it looks good, and I haven't needed to change it. So you can always put more detail onto the eyes, like on, let me see, where is that? Oh, I don't have my sharp pencils right here. I don't know if I can do it with this one. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to ruin it, but you could always just use a pencil. Don't use black paint because it will give it more that makeup look to your thing. And you don't want, your Santa Claus to look like it has black eyeliner. So just use a normal pencil, make sure it's really sharp, and you can just, put like a lid right on top with the pencil. And then you just bring it out and give him like an eyelid. But I'm not going to really do that. And then you can come underneath and bring out the eye so he has like an eye shape. But I think they're super cute just with the little dotted eyes. I think it matches the look of that. So we're going to do the same kind of eye. We're going to try to use the blue because usually I like to put a little bit of light purple, like a lavender or lilac color underneath the eyes. I don't know if you can see it in that one as well because that one's lighter than this one, but it really makes that blue pop on those eyes. This guy has brown eyes. So this guy, you know what? I'm going to give him green eyes. Yeah, I think we're gonna do like a green eye on him. Let me see here. Let me get I gotta put some of my paints in this bag here. We're gonna go ahead with the Christmas green for his eyes. Why not? With that blue, it's gonna look super cute. Okay, let me give this a shaken. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my palette, and I always say a little bit, but usually more comes out than just a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to try to see here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We're just going to make that a very, very light blue, like we did with that mob. This is going to be the white of his eye, but it's going to help the colors to not look so, you know, boom. So what you do is you get a little bit on the tip of your paintbrush, and you're going to put it down the circle and rotate your hand for as big as you want his little white of his eye to be, like that. Okay? Now you're going to use the same paintbrush, so you make sure you make this bigger than the paintbrush head, because that's going to be the, you know, the eye is going to grow off of that. Okay, so I'm going to make his next eye here, which this is a little rough spot here, but I'm thinking I'm going to be able to pull it off because there's a couple wrinkles on this side where the material took on its own shape, but we're going to work with that. Okay. There we go. We're going to push it in like that. All right, so there's that color. I think that looks good. There's this, right here's a wrinkle. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right here's a wrinkle that's going down. Right here's a wrinkle that's going up. So I'm having to work with that with the eyeball. So, okay, so your next color is going to be the color of your eye, but let's go ahead and dry that first. All right, now we're going to pick up the green. All right, I got a little bit of it on my tip, and then I'm just going to dot it down. Okay, get a little bit more. Dot it down in there. Perfect. All right, now we're going to dry that. I know there's a lot of dry, then tap, dry, tap, dry, tap. You just need to dry it enough to where that top layer has a little coating on it so you can do your next color. All right, so the next one is the black right in the middle. Okay. That just wanted to go really bad on me. What happened? Hold up. All right, I'm gonna try fixing that because that went haywire on me. Like I said, I'm working with that spot and it definitely does not want to work with me. All right, let's try putting that green back in there, but let me see if I can pick up a little bit more off of that right here. I think it's my fault. I don't think I dried it enough. I'm trying to get the video done for you guys because, you know, I don't know if you guys want to have super long videos all the time. So, you know, I'm trying to keep the videos at a good, but I'd rather sit here and spend time with you guys and craft with you guys and show you everything, even the good, bad, and ugly. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we're going to grab the black on the tip and let's try this again. Now I'm like hesitant. I'm like, Okay, there we go. That looks good. So let me dry that and then we'll put the little white dots in the eye. Okay, now for the eye glare, you know what would work really good for that instead of using that same thing is one of these little sticks or like a skewer stick or something like that, toothpick, and just pick up a nice little ball on the tip of your stick there, because this is the dot that you want that's like really, really small, just to give it a little bit of a glisten in the eye, just like that. Look at how cute. Look how he came to life. I love it. All right, guys, so he is done. Like I said, I am going to, well, first of all, I can't stand it, so I'm going to do it real quick. So you guys can see this is the real life of when I'm doing stuff. This doesn't have any white right here, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm going to get down in there just a little bit. All right, quit fussing, Patty. All right, so that is him. I think he turned out really cute. And look how they all look so different in their own little way. And all of them have a different undertones. All of them have all like the different shading. And I wanted to touch him up with you guys real quick. Remember, I said I would. So let me do that. When he was drying, his hair was moving. So I'm going to hit these up with some black here because some of his little curls unraveled themselves as it was drying. So that changes the look of him a little bit because his little hairs were moving themselves. So it takes on its own little organic shape as it's drying. So I think that's really cool. All right, so there we go, Santa. Get you a little white here. That's one thing in my videos though that I was telling my son, I'm like, I don't want to feel like I have to rush. I hope people, feel like they're here and, they're with me kind of thing. And I want to be, doing this and I don't want to feel rushed. And I hope that people, because I will have some videos that are not as long for you guys as well. But hopefully you guys enjoy it and like to just sit and maybe watch while you're having a cup of coffee or, laying down for bed and you're not quite tired enough. Hopefully you come and join me and can, stick around, watch the whole video and enjoy. All right, so that is that. Since these two aren't 100% dry, this one is, you can hear, he is dry. We're going to go ahead and seal him. So you can go ahead and get a varnish and stuff, or like a polyurethane if you want to and stuff. But you know what, y'all? I like to do like less chemical-y stuff if possible. And your trusty old Mod Podge will do a wonderful job for you. Now, with this Mod Podge, you can get at the Dollar Tree. And it's really a great buy for this little bottle. But this isn't really very shiny, but now this dishwasher safe one does have some shine, okay? So that is what I'm going to use, and I like that it's dishwasher safe. So if something happens at one of their, like somebody that purchases one of these, if it gets like dirty, they can wipe it up without a problem, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my trusty old favorite brush. My girlfriend's trying to call me this morning. I'm going to have to call her back when I get done. All right, so I'm just drying this off really well. And now what I'm going to do is we're just going to seal him just like you would anything. You're just going to get some on your brush and then I'm going to pat it into him, okay? Because I want it to get down in all those grooves. So go ahead and don't be stingy with the Mod Podge. I know sometimes people are like, it's a little pricey. For these ones, they're like $8, $9 or something. Depends on where you're located. But here they're like 8 something, I think. I know one's got the price on the top. But I don't like to be stingy with it because I want them to be nice. Now, if you're just having these, I'm not going to seal the back because I'm not done with the back yet. So I'm just going to give it another coating of the paint. So I can do that off camera. And then I'm going to felt the back. But if you're going to make these just to, for yourself, you don't have to put this coating on if you don't want to. If you don't have it and you don't want to buy it, it's fine. You don't have to. I try to always give you guys tips and tricks too, because I know things are not cheap anymore. And I, want to try to help you guys to be able to feel like, you can make the crafts and you don't always have to have the same exact things. If I have something, because a lot of my artwork and my crafts and stuff I sell them. So I try to, have certain stuff for mine, but that doesn't mean that you have to have it for yours. Okay. All right, so I know this looks like he's like awfully not like the same colors. It will come back as this dries, okay? So don't worry about that. All right, so he's gonna sit and dry and seal up. Then I'm gonna do his back. I'm gonna put felt and seal all of them once they're all completely dry. Um, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by and joining me here and spending a little time with me in the hollow. If you guys enjoy this kind of thing, you guys enjoy these kind of videos, I would love it if you guys could do me a favor and, subscribe and become part of the little crafting community that I'm growing here. And, every like that you guys give and, comments and shares, that really helps to support my journey and to help my channel to grow, and I really appreciate that kind of love that you guys show when you guys do that. And if you would like, let me know of some things that maybe you guys are interested in crafting and would like to see me do here on the channel. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you for being here. All right, and remember, keep on crafting a little magic of your own. All right, bye guys.